Let me tell you about how Syria's new rulers are giving top military jobs to foreign fighters who helped them overthrow Assad, and why putting Chinese militants and Albanian jihadists in charge of Syria's army could be a huge mistake. This is a story about how a revolution that promised to be Syrian might be turning into something very different. Let's start with something incredible. Syria's defense ministry just announced 49 new military appointments. But here's the wild part. At least 6 of these new generals and colonels aren't even Syrian. They're foreign jihadists who've been fighting in Syria's civil war, and now they're being rewarded with official positions in the country's new army. The numbers here tell a fascinating story. 49 total military appointments, 6 known foreign fighters given positions, 3 foreign brigadier generals, 3 foreign colonels, thousands of foreign fighters still in Syria, and hundreds of Uyghur militants alone. But here's where this story gets really interesting. One of these new brigadier generals is Abdulaziz Dawood Khudaberdi, a Chinese Uyghur militant who leads something called the Turkestan Islamic Party. Think about that. Syria just gave a high-ranking military position to someone China considers a terrorist. The really wild part? These appointments include Chinese Uyghur militants, a Turkish commander, a Jordanian leader, an Albanian jihadist, and an Egyptian fighter. And they're all getting official roles in Syria's new military. But here's what makes this situation so complex. Syria's new leader, Ahmed al-Sharaa, has been trying to convince the world that his group isn't extremist anymore. He's meeting with Christian leaders, talking to Kurdish commanders, wearing Western suits instead of combat fatigues, yet at the same time he's putting foreign jihadists in charge of his army. Think about the irony here. Sharaa spent years kicking out foreign extremists to prove he was running a moderate nationalist movement. Now that he's won, he's giving some of them citizenship and military ranks. It's like watching someone try to be both a revolutionary and an establishment figure at the same time. The implications are huge. China's already warning about the Uyghur appointments. They see these guys as terrorists trying to create an Islamic state in Western China. The US Treasury designated one of these new colonels as a terrorist back in 2016. And everyone's wondering, if these are the appointments we know about, who else is getting power in the new Syria? What we're watching here is more than just military appointments. It's about the future direction of Syria itself. Sharaa's trying to balance multiple competing interests, rewarding the fighters who helped him win, keeping his foreign backers happy, convincing minorities he can be trusted, building a professional military, and maintaining control over various armed groups. The question now is, can you build a professional national army by putting foreign militants in charge? Because right now, Syria's new rulers are trying to convince the world they're moderates while giving military power to people many countries consider terrorists. This decision could have consequences far beyond Syria's borders. We're talking about putting battle-hardened jihadists in official positions of power, with access to resources, weapons, and training. It's like watching someone try to turn a revolutionary militia into a national army by promoting the most extreme elements. The real question is, what kind of Syria are we going to see emerge from this? Because right now, it looks like the revolution that promised to be Syrian is putting foreigners in charge of its military, and that could be a recipe for disaster.